Shalom, this is Sophia, the Ameru Khan Mariam, and we're here with a update video for the Divine Oracle Tarot Spiral, which of course is inspired by Lord Asaran. And I'm going to link to one of his videos that specifically talks about what I'm going to address in this video, because I think that he does a really good job of explaining it, but I also want to add on some pieces here. So, the first thing I would like to say about this tarot spiral is that there has been another switch that has occurred. And this switch is we moved the Empress and we switched it with the High Priestess. Now, pictorially, I'll explain it pictorially first. What was bothering me is that I knew the Empress was not in the right place and that it needed to be switched with the High Priestess, but I couldn't figure out why. And so I hadn't done it. And so I just couldn't figure it out. I was like, I'm not really sure why. I feel like it needs to be moved until I get some information. I'm just going to leave it where it is. Well, if you look at it pictorially, you have the Chariot that has a yellow background in Cancer, right? Then you have the Strength card that has a yellow background in Leo. Then you have the Magician that has a yellow background in Aquarius. So to have the High Priestess there didn't make any sense because you got 3 cards with a yellow background and 1 card with a blue background. And that doesn't make any it doesn't it pictorially it doesn't make any sense. So that was one part of it. And then if you look at where the High Priestess is now on the axis with the Hermit, this makes more sense because if you are a hermit, you know, if that's your general energy, you're more likely to be in that High Priestess energy, which is sort of go within, stay by yourself, stay on the narrow path, whatever, than to be in the Empress energy where you're out there and all public and, you know, all of that doesn't really add up behavior wise. And even if you look at the card is the High Priestess card is gray and blue and black, and if you look at the Hermit card, it's gray and blue and black. So it just makes sense. Now, I will say that if you look at the you may say, well, what about the Fool card, because the Fool is technically yellow background, but if you look over at Libra, it has the Justice card that has that peak of yellow behind it, and then so that those correlate. Then you have of course the Hierophant, which has a gray background, and the Hangman and the Death card both have a gray background, and then the Lovers card, it has a yellow background. However, it is clearly the opposite of the Devil card. So of course the Devil's not going to have a yellow background. So anyway, that's how you can look at those particular cards. All right. So another thing that I did, or another thing that I was thinking about is that there's this axis point, right? And so on this axis point, Lord Asaran calls it the axis of the great Lord. And so I hadn't put it on my other spiral because I wasn't exactly sure how to explain it. And so I was waiting for some clearer information. And so I did receive some clearer information. And that's why I'm going to link to the video so you can so that you can take a look at what he says and compare it to what I'm saying, because what I'm going to say is slightly different than him. So another reason why we do not want to be going into the Aquarius age is because according to the spiral, this is the Kali Yuga. So on Asaran's spiral, he has this a line drawn to form what looks basically like a square with the holy smokes, that's what the crop circle was. Oh my goodness. Okay, all right, y'all. Wow. Okay, so he has like a point, like a diamond point, drawn between Aquarius and Capricorn, because those are both houses historically of Saturn. So when you are entering into that particular phase with this Aquarius and then Capricorn moving backwards, that means that you are going into the Kali Yuga cycle. Well, we've already been through the Kali Yuga cycle. This is crazy. Why would we want to go back into another Kali Yuga cycle? We've already been through a Kali Yuga cycle. Many Kali Yuga cycles, really, because what they've been doing is just keep resetting us to this point, which is which is not good. So anyway, the point I was trying to make, which I forgot, the point I was trying to make, because every time I look at the spiral, I see so much stuff. So we have the axis of the Great Lord, and this is the axis on which the planet spins on, right? Basically, the sun, the moon, and the double Saturn. That's the points where you're going to have the most influence. Okay, and so like I'm saying, we are in the Leo age, which is on one cycle. We're in the Leo age, which is the which started in 1992, which is supposed to be the golden age. That's the not the tip of the spear. That's the end of the spear. The top side, where we're supposed to be experiencing the golden age, right? And so if we look at my other tarot spiral with the age range, or with the actual dates on it, you'll see that we started into this golden age in 1992. And in 1992, that's when you saw computers start to blow up and all of that. And we were headed towards, that. And then they, I think it's some kind of, dark magic or whatever that they did to try and flip us back into Aquarius, because see, these are the axes, so you can always flip somebody from an axis to another axis point. And so this is interesting. So anyway, if we're in Leo, though, that means that this is supposed to be the golden age. We're in this Leo energy all the way until 2100, when we go into the Virgo energy on a clockwise spin as opposed to a counterclockwise spin. Which the Most High, he doesn't go backwards. That's ridiculous. That's why, I mean, people can go backwards, because we did go backwards when we fell, quote unquote fell. We went backwards, so we unlocked the backward spin, right? But we as we process into this new age, we've got to get on the clockwise spin, because the Most High doesn't do confusion, and he doesn't go backwards. He didn't go backwards to save the Israelites. He took the Israelites out, and when stuff happened to them, then he healed them. He didn't go backwards and repeat the time over so they didn't die. He just literally sent something else to heal them. Now, why am I specifically talking about that, and what does that have to do with this? There was a filament that came out of the sun about a day ago that looks very much like a rod of some sort, right? And so somehow I came into the information about Moses and his bronze serpent, that he used to heal the people who had been bitten by these snakes. Because what happened when they went into the forest or the desert, of course, Negroes gonna start complaining. So they're complaining to Moses, and complaining about God, and so God sent some snakes to bite them and killed a bunch of them. And so then they started to repent, and then God told Moses to make a serpent out of bronze, and whoever looked at the serpent would be healed. And so all those people who had died were then brought back to life, right? And so listen, why use a serpent? I mean, what kind of, okay, the serpent is not the Leviathan, obviously. So why use a serpent? Again, if the serpent wasn't a representation of the mother or the light waters, Lilith. Okay, so that's just another correlation between this information of the light waters versus the dark waters, Lilith versus Leviathan. And that shows up here on this tarot spiral because again, you have this demarcation in which the women are on one side. You see the strength card is a female and the empress is a female, and the males are on another side. The magician and the chariot are both operated by males. Okay, so, and if you oscillate from one side to the next, so let's say you go from Saturn or Capricorn to Aquarius, and then across to strength, and then or the sun, then or Leo, I'm sorry, and then Aquarius, Cancer, you form like an infinity symbol, which is on the top of the heads of both the magician and the strength card. All right. This denotes how the caduceus works. You have the snake spiraling up. And also, this is kind of explanatory on why, number one, the father in this scenario that manifests would be the chariot card. And remember, the Most High is outside of space and time. So, of course, he would be leaving away. And then right beside him is the daughter, Philomena, the strength card. Okay, so you have the father never left, the daughter never left the father, right? And then on the bottom half, you have the mother and the son together, and the you know, the son as in the prodigal son. And something else I want to point out that I just noticed on Lord Oseron's spiral, he has the page as he has a page as the primary pip card, and I have the knight as the primary pip card. So queen, knight, and then king and page. Well, page is probably really princess. And so then you have the mother, the knight, which is going to become the king, or the son, and then you have the page or the princess and the king. Why? Because the daughters, the in the story of the prodigal son, the daughter never left. It was the knight. It was the son that left. So it would make more sense that the pages are princesses, and the knight is like the one who would who was sent by the mother to do the work of the father. Okay. So something else he said, which I will also point out, is that these two positions, the strength card and the chariot card, they boil down, the numbers boil down to a 3. And when the numbers are properly placed at the bottom, they boil down to a 6, I'm sorry. And then when the numbers are properly placed at the bottom, because these cards on this spiral don't have the proper numbers, because I have to fix them, they boil down to a 1. And so you have 6 and 1 equals 7. So on this axis, you have these primary cards that add up to a 7, which is unbelievable. And the 7 is the tip of the spear. And the tip of the spear, if you don't know what the spear of destiny is, it's the spear that pierced the side of Jesus. And so, you know, there's also the spirit of Longinus, which I've done a lot of research on. I'm not going to like confuse you. This is already confusing enough. So the primary takeaway from this video, what I wanted to explain to you is that I switched the Empress card with the High Priestess card. And that's because I think that we're getting closer to the actual order of things. And that this axis of the great Lord is the this is how they keep us spinning on the wheel. They take the they give us the Kali Yuga cycle. They give us the destruction, and they take the blessing, basically the golden age. And that's what they've been doing. They've just been restarting us in this Kali Yuga cycle over and over and over again. And they've been taking the golden age and keeping it for themselves. And so now, you know, enough is enough, says the mother and the father and the sister and the brother. Everybody says enough is enough of this. These people keep taking our Kali, you know, our golden age and giving us the Kali Yuga cycle. So this is why I say, you know, if you're somebody out here who's like, oh, we're going into Aquarius, we're going to Aquarius. Well, you're literally pronouncing your demise by saying that we're going into Aquarius. We are not going into Aquarius. We are going into the golden age. We're not going into the death spiral. Aquarius and Capricorn are the death spiral. That's the Kali Yuga age. We're not going into the Kali Yuga. Some people are, and if you would like to be one of those people, that's fine. But some of us would prefer to go into the golden age and to have an eternity of peace. And if we're going to keep resetting the cycle, you know, so that we don't experience a Kali Yuga, I'd much rather keep resetting it in Leo than to allow them to keep resetting us into Aquarius. Because even if you look at Aquarius, right, you have the sun, which is Jesus. You have the night, which is Jesus. It's like the magician on the outside is the real Jesus, and then you have the knight on the inside, which is the fake one, you know, basically. And they just keep resetting us to this. And guess what's in this Aquarius slice? The Five of Pentacles. So they can keep us in this spiral of not having any money, this and that. Meanwhile, they're living it up in the, you know, the golden age. And, you know, we don't even know, using the daughter, not the, you know, everybody, oh, I have said this, oh, they're using the mother, no, they're using the daughter. It's even worse. They're using the one they never told us about. They're using the daughter. They're using the power of the daughter to keep them into the literal golden age. You know what I mean? And if you look at the strength card, it's in the same slice as the knight. Well, the daughter, you know, literally came on behalf of the brother. You know, when Yeshua says he's going to send the comforter, he didn't mean the mother. He meant the daughter. He meant the daughter. His sister. He said, I'm going to send the comforter. That's my sister, not my mother, my sister. You know, and that's what he did. He sent the comforter. And guess who's been using the comforter all this time? Because like I said before, who is the meek? What was Dinah's inheritance? What was Leah's inheritance? Why do we not know what their dowry was? Never told. Never told what Dinah's inheritance was. We know everybody else's inheritance but Dinah's. Well, she was the comforter. That was her inheritance. Just like Job's daughters received spiritual gifts. If you read the Testament of Job, Dinah received a spiritual gift. She received the gift of the comforter. And so all those who come in her line are the comforter. And so, you know, this is not to tell people what to believe or anything like that, but I'm just saying, if you get the option of choosing to be on the timeline with the comforter, you might want to choose to be on the timeline with the comforter instead of the timeline that's going to bring complete and total destruction. Because after this Aquarius age is over, the next age, I still am trying to figure out who's coming next. You know, that's a little less important right now. But because all that's going to happen is keep flipping through these four axis points. You know what I mean? And so we just want to make as an informed decision as possible. The information is there. It just requires you to basically suspend you know, your belief and just be rational. Be rational about what you're seeing and not, you know, so stuck in particular ways that you can't be rational, this is a rational timeline. This is completely rational. This is not, I can explain every point on here, and I look at this a lot. So anyway, I'm gonna, like I said, link to Lord Asaron's video so you all can take a look at it. He describes it in far more detail than I do, because he had been studying this for a long time already, and I'm still getting my, I'm still getting my feet wet really in this information, understanding it. But I did want to present that to you, that I have switched the positions. So if you got a reading from me and one of the cards I gave you was the Empress, switch that with the High Priestess, because the Empress and the High Priestess have switched. And some people, their readings are going to be different now. But I didn't want to, I wanted to present the information all at once so I didn't confuse anybody. Although the Empress and the High Priestess are very similar, because we as the daughters are like our mother. You know what I mean? We're like our father. We're close to our father, just like the page and the kings are all together. But we are like our mother. We're really made in the image of our mother, and so which is that forgiveness. All those ancient grandmothers in the books of remembrance, those are our traits. That is our mother. Our mother had all of those traits. So we have all of those traits. That's natural to us. Those who are the daughters, and that's how you will know. You will know the tree by its fruit. And so, if you want to know if you're a daughter Jerusalem or a daughter Zion, look at the book of remember. Look at the fruit of the spirit, and tell me if you have the fruits of the spirit, and then you will know if you're a daughter or not. That's you know the tree by its fruits. Just like we know the ones who are our brothers, like our brother Yeshua, because they are like him. They are like him. And the ones who aren't like him, the ones that are perpetrating a fraud, we could tell those ones too. We could tell those ones too. They're not perpetrating a fraud on us. They're doing that to themselves. I just realized that all of these cards are backwards. That is so weird. I'm gonna fix that. It's so weird. Oh my goodness. When I was putting this spiral together, it was some crazy stuff going on. So anyway, this makes me feel better, because now things are in an order that makes sense. I have been wanting to move that card, but I didn't have an explanation for why. And so now I do have an explanation. And this makes way more sense, because now you have the tower moment, the quote unquote devil impregnating the empress, or really the intercession by the emperor to impregnate the empress, which is the immaculate conception. And then you have, from the immaculate conception, you have Jesus, and then born, that was born of no sin, and then you have born, into sin as the daughter. And the daughter bore a son, and this round and round and round. Now this makes more sense, because I also didn't like the idea, the concept that the devil is the one that impregnated the high priestess. I didn't like that. But you can't have the emperor intercede right here at this point and impregnate the empress via immaculate conception, and then you can cut the devil off, and he doesn't get to just continue to reign on this planet forever. But the emperor and the empress are together. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense. So you also have in this quadrant the father, the mother, the son, and the daughter. And then again, with the son, the daughter, um the son and the daughter, and then them being a light judgment, or chastisement. Then you have another son and daughter with the continuation of the chastisement with the chariot card. Then you have a bunch of activity at the bottom. So anyway, I think this makes more actual sense when you sit down and think about it. And of course, try and apply it as a story. These pictures are stories, much like a comic book. If you don't look at this like a story, then you will miss it. This is a story. This is a story. This is a cosmic story of things that always happen. And that's how you have to think about it. So Shalom, everyone, and we'll see you in the next video.